This is day 4 of our 30-day diabetes diet and lifestyle plan. If this is the first video you're watching, I strongly recommend going back to day 1 and following the series step by step. This program is designed as a therapeutic journey. Each day builds on the last, and only by completing all 30 days will you move closer to remission and protect yourself from complications. Today's meals are focused on protein and vegetables to stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation. And in the bonus block, I will tell you about zinc, a mineral that plays a crucial role in insulin sensitivity and the health of your pancreas. Breakfast, cottage cheese with cucumber and herbs. Before breakfast, I strongly recommend drinking 1 glass of water. It helps you feel full sooner and lowers the chance of overeating. Then start with a light salad made of fresh cucumber and parsley. The fiber will slow down the absorption of glucose from your main dish. Today For breakfast, I recommend cottage cheese with cucumber and herbs. To prepare this breakfast, we will need 150 grams of low-fat cottage cheese, 50 grams of fresh cucumber, a handful of dill and parsley, a pinch of salt. Now let me tell you how to prepare our breakfast. Simply mix the cottage cheese with finely chopped cucumber and herbs. Nutrients per portion: 160 kilocalories, 24 grams of protein, 4 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams fiber, 2 grams sugars. Now let me tell you about a typical mistake many people with diabetes make. For breakfast, they choose white bread with butter or a sweet bun. That is 40 grams of carbohydrates, equal to 8 teaspoons of sugar. It causes a sharp rise in blood sugar and insulin, and it overloads the liver. Let me explain what happens when you eat cottage cheese with vegetables. The protein from cottage cheese digests slowly, giving long-lasting satiety. The fiber from cucumber and herbs stabilizes blood sugar. Your pancreas gets to rest and your vessels are protected. Let me tell you about a study in 2011, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a study showing that dairy protein reduced post-meal blood sugar and improved satiety in people with diabetes. In real life, it looked like this. In Sweden, more than 1,200 people were followed. Those who ate cottage cheese or sugar-free yogurt for breakfast had 25% fewer cases of type 2 diabetes after 10 years. Micro conclusion from our breakfast: cottage cheese with cucumber and herbs is not just a light breakfast. It is protection for your blood sugar and stable energy for the morning. If you do not have cottage cheese, you can replace it with plain sugar-free yogurt. Lunch: chicken breast stewed with cabbage. Before lunch, I strongly recommend drinking 1 glass of water. Then start with a salad of cabbage and cucumber. This fiber fills the stomach and helps control portions. Today for lunch, I recommend chicken breast stewed with cabbage. To prepare this lunch, we will need 200 grams of chicken breast, 150 grams of white cabbage, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, spices to taste. Now let me tell you how to prepare our lunch. Slice the chicken breast and cabbage, then stew them under a lid for 20 to 25 minutes with olive oil and spices. Nutrients per portion: 320 kilocalories, 46 grams of protein, 12 grams of fat, 2 grams saturated, 8 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams fiber, 2 grams sugars. Now let me tell you about a typical mistake many people with diabetes make. At lunch, they often eat noodles or rice with bread. That is up to 70 grams of carbohydrates, equal to 14 teaspoons of sugar. Let me explain what happens when you eat chicken with cabbage. Protein provides satiety, while cabbage with fiber reduces the burden on the pancreas and liver. Blood sugar rises smoothly instead of spiking. Let me tell you about a study in 2014, the British Journal of Nutrition published findings showing that cruciferous vegetables like cabbage reduced systemic inflammation and improved glucose metabolism. In real life, it looked like this. In China, more than 3,000 patients with type 2 diabetes were observed. Those who regularly ate cabbage and broccoli had an 18% lower risk of complications. Micro conclusion from our lunch: chicken with cabbage is not just a lunch, it is daily protection for your liver and blood vessels. If you do not have chicken breast, you can replace it with turkey or lean beef. Dinner: baked salmon with cauliflower. Before dinner, I strongly recommend drinking 1 glass of water. Then eat a light salad made of lettuce leaves and herbs. Today, for dinner, I recommend baked salmon with cauliflower. To prepare this dinner, we will need 180 grams of salmon fillet, 150 grams of cauliflower, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, a splash of lemon juice. Now let me tell you how to prepare our dinner. Bake the salmon at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Prepare the cauliflower by steaming it or roasting it alongside the fish. Nutrients per portion: 430 kilocalories, 40 grams of protein, 26 grams of fat, 3 grams omega-3, 6 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams fiber, 2 grams sugars. Now let me tell you about a typical mistake many people with diabetes make. At dinner, they often eat mashed potatoes with bread. That is more than 70 grams of carbohydrates, equal to 14 teaspoons of sugar. Blood sugar stays high throughout the night and blood vessels are damaged. Let me explain what happens when you eat salmon with cauliflower. Protein satisfies your hunger, omega-3 reduces inflammation and triglycerides, and fiber stabilizes your sugar. Let me tell you about a study in which, in 2020, JAMA Internal Medicine reported that eating fish rich in omega-3 twice per week reduced the risk of cardiovascular events by 16%. In real life, it looked like this. In Finland, more than 3,000 people who ate fish at least twice a week lowered their triglycerides by 20% in 6 months. Micro conclusion from our dinner: baked salmon with cauliflower is not just dinner, it is a night of stable blood sugar and calm for your pancreas. If you do not have salmon, replace it with mackerel or sardines. Physical activity. Today, once again, include cardio, walking or cycling, whichever is safe and available for you. At least 60 minutes in the morning and 60 minutes in the evening. A 2021 Cochrane review showed that regular aerobic activity reduced hemoglobin A1C by an average of 0.7%. In today's bonus block, I will tell you about zinc. In 2016, Journal of Diabetes Research published findings showing that people with type 2 diabetes often had low zinc levels, and this was linked to poor blood sugar control. In 2020, a meta-analysis in Nutrients confirmed that zinc supplementation in doses of 25 to 40 milligrams per day improved insulin sensitivity and lowered blood sugar. You can get zinc from seafood, meat, and seeds. Preventive doses of supplements are generally safe. But if you have kidney or liver disease, always consult your doctor before taking zinc supplements. Conclusion. This was day 4 of our 30-day journey. We drank water before meals, added salads, prepared 3 balanced meals, and learned about the importance of zinc. Do not stop. Watch all episodes of this series. If you joined late, go back to day 1 and follow step by step. And most importantly, share this video with a friend or relative who has diabetes or prediabetes. For them, this could mean preventing a heart attack, stroke, or blindness. Tomorrow will bring a new day, a new menu, and another essential insight. Subscribe and stay with us.